You're probably already used to the all Phantom Gaming thing that I'm doing currently, but we have another thing coming, and this is Team Group T-Force Delta RGB 2.5-inch SSD. The exact size is 250 gigabytes. Now, I know you're really interested in one thing, that is heating up when it's used, since it has an RGB on an SSD, and we all know what happens when that is combined. So today we're not just going to test some speeds on this SSD and show you how it looks nice when the RGB is all going crazy. We're going to check the temperatures of the SSD when we're pushing it to the maximum and achieving some read-write speeds and everything. But until we get to that part, let's just talk about the design. So it has PG times Delta, so we have the Phantom Gaming Alliance again, times Delta. Delta is the SSD. And you have the T-Force logo right here in the middle, which kind of lights up when everything around it lights up as well. You have the top part that lights up in the same color as you decide, of course, and you have these kind of gray lines that go according to the case, to the motherboard, and everything that is in Phantom Gaming Alliance. You get the cable for connecting it to the addressable RGB header on your motherboard, or if you have a splitter or even a controller by that meaning. So let's check this out. One side is a standard USB connection, which you connected right here at the far right side. So you do have to consider that extra cable when you're placing it inside the build. Then on the other side you have this kind of 3-pin standard smaller one connection, and you have the standard connection which resembles to the 4-pin RGB, but this is 3-pin 5 volts addressable RGB header that you can connect, as I already said, to your splitter, to directly to a motherboard and similar stuff. So basically we have the ASRock Z390 Phantom Gaming X, which has an addressable RGB header. So we're going to connect it with the splitter because we have some more things to connect over the addressable RGB header. So yeah, of course I'm going to sync everything, but let's check out the speeds and let's check out the thermals when it's in full swing. To sum it all up with Phantom Gaming Alliance components, we had all of this, and I had the T-Force Delta addressable RGB 2.5-inch SSD, and this is version 250 gigabytes, which kind of looks really cool. And unfortunately in this case you don't have any position where it's visible, so only close-ups will do for you currently. But let's go into some tests and speeds. So the read speeds are up to 560 megabytes per second. My tests show 532, but in Crystal Disk Mark they go up to even above 560. When it comes to write speeds, up to 510. I got some about 485, but in Crystal Disk Mark they show a little less, below 510 megabytes per second. But I know these are 2.5-inch SSDs and the speeds don't change that much, so you don't have to worry about it. Let's talk about something else. You might be wondering the temperature of the 2.5-inch SSD and with the RGB, and will it heat up, will it make any problems? Well, I did that while doing some sequential testing just to see if it will accumulate temperature and get hot enough to make problems while doing tests. So the temperature went up to 54 Celsius degrees, which is quite alright, and doing some minor things it didn't actually go that high. 54 was stable, it didn't make any problems, and I know loads of you guys who think the RGB SSD could manage some issues with your operational system or gaming or just thermal throttling in general. This one doesn't, and it's quite alright. They removed the PCB board from the LEDs, from the main chipsets where the memory chips are, so you don't have issues with overheating and thermal throttling. And when it comes to connection, you have the 5 volts addressable header, so it's a 3-pin connector that you could either connect to a motherboard like I did. Actually, it was a splitter since I have loads of addressable RGB stuff here going on, but you have it on your motherboard, as I used on the ASRock Z390 Gaming X motherboard. So basically, yeah guys, this is it. You have different sizes as well, so you can check them out. I'll place every single size. I think it's 250, 500, 1 terabyte, so you can check them out. And basically, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in another one very soon. Bye bye.